Hey, what's up everybody, my name is Mike and this is Tech404. This is the Acer Swift 3, one of the best £500 laptops you can pick up right now. Now before we actually begin this review, let me tell you guys that I've actually spent £500, I've gone out and I've bought this thing. I've been using it for about 2 weeks solid and this is what I've found. Now the unboxing experience, as you can imagine, it's not like buying a HP Spectre or like your MacBook Pro. Inside it you get the laptop, you get a warranty card and you get a quick start guide. Other than that, you actually get a 240 plug for the UK and a power brick. Now this will vary depending on where you are in the world. So can this £500 laptop do the one finger lift? Let's find out. Here we go. No, it's lifted up a little bit. You know what? I'm going to give it to it. It's £500. And you know what, that kind of test is reserved for a £1,000 laptop. Now, a couple of impressive features considering it's a £500 laptop. All metal chassis, lightweight, 1.5 kilos, USB Type-C, fingerprint reader, and the battery's good for 10 hours. Now, this got a full HD 1080p IPS display. Now, those are specs found in much more expensive laptops. Getting that at £500 is impressive. This laptop isn't for your gamer. This laptop isn't for your heavy video editor. This is a general all-round. Now, it comes with an i3 version, an i5, and an i7. This is the version that I've got. Boot time on this thing is actually pretty impressive considering the price point. Now you can count it yourself as you're watching this. I think it's around 10 seconds, which to be fair is pretty damn respectable. Now the trackpad found on the Swift 3 for me personally was one of the best features about the laptop. Large in its size as a content creator editing video and photo on the go, it's a great experience for me personally, especially when I'm sitting on a train or something like that. The trackpad is responsive and has good pressure detection. Higher end laptops that use a glass trackpad with a textured top, comparing that with the Swift, your average consumer would genuinely be hard pressed to tell the difference. The only small gripe I had with it, the left and right mouse button on the trackpad didn't respond 100% of the time when using it on your lap. About 1 out of 10 clicks wouldn't register. Again, this is perfectly acceptable at this price point. Moving on. Now the hinge design on the laptop allows it to fully open and lie flat on its back. Now this is actually useful if you want to lie in bed and watch a movie or watch a bit of YouTube like you probably are now. The hinge design is a solid piece of plastic, it's like a triangular shape, and when you actually lift the panel from the top of the laptop you'll see it doesn't actually cave in on itself, it's quite rigid. Again, very impressive considering the price point. So let's talk about the display. It's got a full HD IPS panel, again it's fairly sharp and doesn't have any issues with contrast shift from any angle, which is a great thing. Almost all Core i series laptops, cheaper than this one, still use a TN panel. The contrast is excellent and the blacks are punchy, but with all things it's not all rainbows. The max brightness is only 195 nits, which is rather weak. This could definitely be better, but again, for most people this will serve them just fine, but it will struggle in stronger sunlight, especially in an outdoor environment. The keyboard offers fantastic value for money. I say this primarily because it's a backlit keyboard, again not found often at this price point. It also makes typing in dark rooms much easier. When you're also getting a 7th generation Core i processor, it's just another cherry on top. Very little flex can be found in the centre of the keyboard. The backlit keyboard also comes with sublit LEDs that shine through each character on the keyboard. You can alter the intensity of the LEDs, it's either on or off. Nevertheless, it's a great feature to have that's often left out on cheaper laptops, so good job Acer. To give you an indication of what you can expect when viewing 1080p files on YouTube, this is an example of a recent video, go check it out, link will be in the video description. Viewing angles, as you can see, aren't too bad at all, but they're not great, they're average. And this is just a little remark for those of you that want to edit a few photos and video on the go like me. Now I will chop videos up, but I will not do any colour work on this laptop. It only covers 55.6% of the sRGB standard and 38.6% of the Adobe RGB. Not strong enough for photo retouching or any serious semi-pro work. But other than that, it's pleasantly surprising to the eye for most people. Solid resolution, great contrast, and it has an IPS screen. Can't complain. The Swift 3 also utilises bottom firing speakers. Now these can be located on the underside, front, left and right. Now they're not by no means absolutely appalling, but they're not the best, but for most people they should be good. Here's a sound test. The laptop seems to deliver sound actually wider than the laptop itself. That's predominantly down to the speaker placement. Moving on, let's take a look at the connection options. Full-size HDMI, USB 3.0, you got a USB Type-C as well, which is fantastic. On the opposing side, you'll find a full-size SD card slot, headphone jack, and you get a 1x USB 2.0. Not too shabby. And lastly, let's take a look at this webcam. As you can see, the webcam on the Swift 3 is a 720p resolution camera that actually delivers quite a nice sharp image and good range of colour, and the face detection is pretty damn good. Absolutely fine for things like Skype. Now, as far as charging time and battery life, if you can charge this laptop for about 2.5 hours, you're good for about 90%. As far as Acer's claim of 10 hours, under normal usage, yes, this thing will actually get close to that 10 hours. Under heavy duress, like video editing or photo editing, it still managed a respectable 7.5, maybe 8 hours. So guys, if you made it this far, then please leave me a like, it really does help me. Now, as you've been watching this video, it's important to know that the entire video, what you've just watched, has been actually edited on the version of the Swift 3. I haven't used the desktop PC to do anything. The whole video has been rendered on the laptop. Now, the laptop actually comes, like I said, in 3 varieties, the most interesting of which is the £500 Core i3 with 128GB SSD and a 7th generation Core i processor. And you know what, it was good enough to run Sony Vegas and DaVinci Resolve, as long as I didn't set the preview over the Auto Max. Now, if you want to do a little bit more serious video editing, then I would consider going with the £650 to £700 in the UK at least, the Core i5 version. So that's it from me for now. My name is Mike, this is Tech404. Please leave me a like, maybe even consider subscribing. Links will be in the video description if you want to go check it out. Until next time, see you later.